Welcome back to Crawlspace Encounters. Got ourselves another one here. Got a home inspection we have to take care of. And let's take a dive down there together and see what's happening. I'm already seeing some that I don't typically like to see. Let me go ahead and reverse this camera. Alright, when I see a crawlspace door looking like this, I'm always nervous some little animal might have gone in there and is waiting on me. But looks like there's a water hose going in. Got an extension cord. Some kind of a sump pump. We got a sump pump here too. So these guys probably took on some serious water. Hold on, let me dive down here. Yeah, this is gonna be a messy one. So what happened with this guy? Hey, look at the bottom of that well. It's got all kinds of mud in there. Alright, so this thing probably kicked the bucket. And this whole crawl space looks like it gets flooded. That would explain his little temporary solution right here, which is a sump pump. Never seen one of these before. Ever built. Alright. Well, let's see what we got down here. Got a brand new water heater. That's cool. Put it on a pad. I'm impressed. Definitely a new one. So considering how much moisture there is down here, I'm gonna go ahead and expect that last water heater took a beating due to this moisture. But at least this company went ahead and threw a pad down there to protect this guy. So that's good. Way to go. And just throw some bricks on the bottom and let it all get corroded again. So once again, my favorite, all this insulation falling down. But one of the biggest things, these are engineered floor joists. Let me see if I can get a good shot for you on one of them. Here we go. So these are already engineered floor joists. The problem with that is when they put those wire hangers to hold up the insulation, there's really no place to grip those wires. So anything that crawls over it is going to knock it down. Snakes, chipmunks, and this place is getting bombarded by chipmunks. I've seen them running around outside quite a bit. But you can see all the insulation just falling down. Here's a bunch of water stains, chipmunk droppings, insulation falling down. The humidity down here is unreal. Copper pipes have some mineral deposit buildup on there. Oh, I thought there was a notch on this support beam here, but it's not. Check this out. So that's what I was looking at. I was looking at maybe that beam was notched, but it's not. Look at the weight. This is holding up some weight right here. And it's just sinking. Wow. That's crazy. There must be something upstairs or whatever the case may be. Definitely bearing a lot of weight on this point. I would say a support system right here in the middle to kind of help the situation out. Definitely, if there's a door upstairs, I can hear a dog barking. Excuse the dog. He's doing his job. Yeah, I mean, they just have one center support system in this crawl space. You've got a few piers here and there, but you've got one support system running all the way down to the end. You've got some piers here and there. Look at this insulation. Wow. Now this is an insulation cemetery. That is crazy. A lot of it's wet, a lot of it just has, animal activity in it. There's burrowing holes inside of it. There's fecal matter. You can see all these little marks on the actual vapor barrier. This is all urine. God bless. This is horrible. Yeah, I dropped my other flashlight. Let me take a look down here. Some water comes in this front wall. You see the corrosion, the mineral buildup on these copper lines. I guarantee you that's all going to get busted out. Look at this insulation. Man. This is years of animal activity down here. I don't know. I've been saying this for a long time. I'm just not a fan of insulation. The crawl space. Seal this up down here. Definitely needs a dehumidifier. Got plenty of fungus and mildew growth. It smells like animal down here. It's the biggest thing most of us always have concerns about is coming across an animal we don't want to see. I see chipmunks sometimes running by, a scared mouse. You definitely don't want to see a possum, or you just don't want to catch a late smell of a skunk. That's happened. I've been in a crawl space where I didn't smell skunk, and then I saw a skunk. It's like, man, you should have at least did your thing so I can know you were present down there. That's the last thing you want to see. You get sprayed by one of those guys, you're going to spend a few days getting ragged on by your buddies. Definitely your wife won't go near you. All right, HVAC system. A RUD. That's the first for me. Haven't heard of a RUD before. But you can see how it's just right there. There's nothing underneath there protecting it from any of the vapors that come up from the ground. That's why you've got all that, you got some rust buildup, some fungal buildup. Now this looks like an older unit. Looks like RUD's hanging on for dear life. So, nice to meet you, RUD. If anybody met a RUD before, leave me a comment. I'm not an HVAC expert. I've just seen a lot of them. Definitely some water comes in right through that foundation wall right there. Kind of builds up right here. Well, we had some heavy rain, so I don't see any standing water. But you can tell it definitely comes in. got a pack of dogs living upstairs. Draw my flashlight. I hate losing things in the crawl space. You get to your vehicle and you're like, oh man, I must have dropped my flashlight or my moisture meter or whatever the case may be. And you gotta get back out there. Especially once you get out of your suit. See, I wear a suit, gloves, knee pads. You want to get yourself a good pair of knee pads? Here you go. I've been wearing these for years. You can't even tell and I got bad knees. My knees, you know, if I can't crawl this crawl space without knee pads, my knees would be hurting. But I don't advertise for any companies or anything like that, so I'll just show you what they look like. I'm sure you can find them online somewhere. Look at all this insulation. God. I'll tell you what. Sometimes the best thing you can do for a house is just pray for it. Because a lot of homeowners, they don't want to do anything to them until they have to. Once they sell the house, or they're trying to sell the house, all these problems come up. And then they have to take a major hit to their asking price, or they got to get fixed, or they lose a potential buyer. See, we're looking at behind the deck right now. There's a deck right here. This is the back of the house. Some more water comes in through the foundation right here. All right, so I gotta get up underneath this pipe. Give me a second. Wow. Acorns everywhere. This is all urine. Yeah, I do swap out my suits quite a bit, so most of my wife and kids won't come near me. Coming home smelling like a rat's nest. Not a very large crawl space. No reason for this to be looking like this at all. What I would have done here, or what I would recommend have done, one, get rid of this vapor barrier. It's disgusting. It's got all kinds of disgustingness to it. All this insulation, just get it out of here. It's not doing anything. Look at this thing. Just get all this insulation, dump it right on top of this plastic, and roll it up like a burrito and haul it off. Definitely want to get a dehumidifier down here. Close off the vents, seal it off. Get some of this moisture, some of all that mildew, get that under control. It feels like a cave down here. None of this wood is pressure treated lumber. And you can't replace this kind of lumber. You know, I've asked the city before, how do you repair these joists? And I asked them if we can, recommend 2x10s or 2x12s or whatever the case may be. Now, I'm not 100% sure, but, so I question what they say. They have to be sistered with laminate beams. Now, that is a very expensive fix. I'm sure you can do it yourself using some 2x10s, 2x12s. But they said laminate beams. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. That would be a fortune if this all starts to rot away. But this is definitely interesting right here. Was how this beam right here just really sank. So I would definitely recommend some support systems Trying to see if there's a belly underneath that beam. Probably not too much, maybe a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. How about this one right here? Possibly the same thing. You know. Now the piers are all seem to be set pretty good apart, you know, about 6 feet apart, which is good. So you got one there, you got one right there. So the distance between the piers is not bad. They used a double 2x8. Just sometimes the weight plus the moisture down here, it doesn't help. Keeps water inside that wood. That weight's pushing down from the upstairs. You start getting bellies. Then again, you also have a very long span from here, from this pier to that exterior wall. Looks about maybe 14 feet. But with these engineered joists like this, you can go a longer span without any kind of support systems underneath. Me personally, I would still put a support system underneath there, especially in crawlspace homes where you do get a lot of moisture. This gas line covered in rust. Definitely needs a little work down here. Obviously, this whole section of the crawlspace gets flooded with water. You can see this right here. That only happens because of water. So this whole bottom portion of the crawl space, so this is the low point right here, right at the crawl door. This definitely takes on some moisture. And then I can, and I can feel right on the ground right here. This is soft. So this clay down here, definitely still very wet from that last rainstorm we had. But not a very big crawl space. Just like, again, you gotta stay on top of it. And this is actually a very good crawl space to do some work. Look at the height on this guy. You can work comfortably down here. But, some people don't have the time. They don't have the money. Whatever the case may be, still it ends up affecting them. I want to thank you guys so much for chilling with me in another crawl space. Yeah, a little bit of work on this one, but we'll find out what they want to do. But regardless, I just got to report what I see and let them decide what happens. But there's quite a bit of work needs to be done here. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, share, and I'll catch you on the next one. God bless you. Take care.